at some point it will require you to look in the mirror and ask who you really are, what you really care about, what you're doing here. Leadership can be really exposing and vulnerable and humiliating in many ways. And so being able to have looked in the mirror and gotten real about not just the values you care about and the society you yearn for, but also the sensitive spots, the shadow stuff. Being able to sit with both of that and still commit to leading towards a better world takes work. It's a crucible. It's really hard. But on the other side of it is really soulful work. My name is Dar Vanderbeck. I'm the Vice President of the Aspen Global Leadership Network, and here are some reflections on leadership. I've come up under the definition of leadership as a practice of building shared purpose in the face of uncertainty. And so with that definition, we all have an opportunity to lead. And so creating the structures, not just positions, but like cultural understanding of what leadership is, will be really important for this next chapter of humanity. One thing about leadership that I'd love to share is this principle of being first in the water. My father was a deep sea diver in the Army, and he would describe this moment when they were given an assignment and it was scary and no one really knew what to do, and that there's some inherent value to putting up your hand and going first. And going first not just out of bravado, but by being able to acknowledge that this is scary and still we're going to learn together, so let's get going. I think that's such an important idea for people in the beginning of their leadership journeys, for founders, and even for very seasoned leaders. This idea that going first is hard and it's scary and it's the work. Another thing I'd love to share about leadership is not to be afraid of the cracks or the broken parts. There is a specific ache that leaders know when you try to do all the things you know how to do and still come up short. And I think how we respond to those moments is really important. You can respond with defensiveness and blame, but there's something about staying curious and being able to sit with those broken parts and see what it's telling you and see what you can create together. There is, of course, the Leonard Cohen quote around the cracks are how the light gets in. I also really love the work of Dr. Bayo Akomolafe, who encourages us to sit at the cracks. Because the cracks, the places where society or organizations are broken, are where we find each other. And it's where we can create new things together.